Hi guys, welcome back to yet another video. My name is Martin. Filming this in my storage unit today being Saturday. It's very hot. I've had my hair cut because of the heat, but I thought I'd come down and check out my comic books to make sure everything's okay. Everything is okay, but I have a whole bunch of comics to show off. More than this, I've got 50 books to show off, and I'll just start off with Adventure Comics issue 260. Now, as you can see, this is a facsimile edition. So this video is going to be all about the facsimile editions that I have in my collection that I am yet to read. And in the last few years, DC and Marvel have been doing these facsimile editions for like commemorative reasons, for new series, yeah, just to promote their books. And every time, well, it seems like every time they bring out a facsimile edition, I grab it. For a number of reasons. Either I have the issue, but it's in poor condition and I cannot read it. I cannot afford the issue and I want to read it. And that's pretty much it. But I can't remember the reason this was reprinted. I think, no, I cannot remember. It's the first appearance of someone, I believe. This guy, I don't know. If you know in the comments, please, sorry, if you know who it is, put it down in the comments below. The next one is All American Comics issue 16. It's a big, thick book. As you can see, it's printed as it was, and it's in really nice condition. The paper quality is very nice, but this is the first appearance of Green Lantern. Yeah, there we go. Now, the funny thing is that a lot of these books I have back at home ready to read, but I completely forget that I have them. And so we have All Star Comics issue 3, the first appearance of Wonder Woman. Now, just bear with me while I go through and read this and see if I can find where Wonder Woman turns up. It's going to be a very boring book, very boring video, and no, I'm not going to subject you to it, but it looks very nice if you're a JSA fan, which I am. Now, this book, yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 121, sorry, I was looking at the next book, which is 122, and I was just trying to remember. This is the Death of Gwen Stacy, and this book has become a bit more talked about in recent history, very recent history, because Marvel, for whatever reason, they're bringing Gwen back. Personally, from my point of view, I don't agree. I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think the writers have the chops to pull it off and to have a long-standing story going on. But I always am I'm an optimist. I just can't say it, and I live for the best. I hope for the best. But yeah, so we have 121 and 122, The Goblin's Last Stand. And I do have this issue, but I cannot remember reading it. And my copy is very banged up. It's Amazing Spider-Man 162, the photo cover. So, yeah, pretty cool. And where are we? Right there, Amazing Spider-Man 300. I can't read it, it's slabbed. So I've got the facsimile edition to read and enjoy. And, yeah, looking cool, looking cool. I'll show it to you. There we go. Eddie Brock as Venom. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Now, this next book I got at a convention a few years back. Avengers Annual 10, the first appearance of Rogue. I think it's also the first appearance of Madeline Pryor. Yeah, there we go. The facsimile edition. I have read it. It was a very wordy book, but I did read it. Now, this is very cool. It's Batman issue 1. In obviously the facsimile edition, and yeah, it's yeah, I shouldn't look through it because it makes for a boring video, but yeah, we have issue 1, and they've also brought out issue 5. Now, what I wanted to ask, would you support DC bringing this out on the regular, month after month, reprinting, starting with issue 1 and then subsequent months, going through all the way through. I don't know. I think it'd be a fun idea to have all the Batman books in reprinted form. There's one book. Oh no, I do have it at home. Oh, I should have brought it. It is Detective Comics issue 1. I got a reprint copy of that, and yeah, should have brought it. Anyhow, yeah. So, would you support that? Would you support DC bringing out Batman? The new monthly, but also the reprinted classics. I think there's a market for it. But anyhow, we've got Batman 608, the first Hush storyline, reprinted there. And Betty and Me, issue 16, the innuendo cover. Bought it, have not read it. Now, I bought this back in the day, so it's over there somewhere. Batman, Daredevil 183, the classic cover with the Punisher shooting Daredevil in the stomach. And we're days away from the Born Again series, and man, I cannot wait. Now, DC Comics presents issue 26, the first Cyborg, first Starfire, first Raven. I could have bought this a couple of years back, but it was like $180, and yeah, it's a bit steep for me. Now, Detective Comics issue 58. I don't know what this is in terms of like first appearances or anything like that, but it is an early Detective Comics, so I have to say yes. And yeah, there we go. Now, Doom Patrol issue 99. I think, yeah, this is the first appearance of Beast Boy, and a local seller is selling this for a nice price, actually a fairly nice price, but I haven't made the jump. I don't know if I will, but it's nice to have it in the facsimile edition. Next up, Fantastic Four issue 1. Of course, when this was solicited, I had to say yes. You know, you'd be a fool to pass it up, because you're never going to be able to afford the original. Well, most people aren't. There are a few collectors out there who would be able to get it, but I am certainly not one of them. There's a local guy here who has it for sale for about 25 grand. Yeah, no, I can't afford that. Now, Flash Comics issue 1, the first Jay Garrick, sorry. I need to have a drink of water. It's a hot day. Give me a break. Yeah, so there we go. First Flash in Flash Comics issue 1, and G.I. Joe issue 1. Now this is by Image, but oh, wait a sec. Okay, so I've just opened this up, and they've got an ad, like a preview for Duke issue 1 at the back. So that's pretty cool if you're a G.I. Joe and Duke fan. And yeah, there we go. Next up, Giant Size X-Men issue 1. Of course, just like Fantastic Four issue 1, I'm not going to say no. It's yes, every day of the week for this book. Whenever I can get it in whatever form, I will get it, because yeah, it kicked off everything for the X-Men. Green Lantern issue 59. I have this this original issue, but it cost me a fair bit. I have read it, and it's a what if story, so it's not in canon. I've got Guy Gardner's real canon issue, but I cannot remember the number of it. But for my money, this is the issue because it's just an iconic cover. Now, the first appearance of Zatanna, it's Hawkman issue 4, and one day I will read all these. Next up, House of Secrets issue 92. If you're a Swamp Thing fan, this is it. This is what you need. And here's our boy right there. I have read this. I read the Millennium edition. It's a pretty standard read, but yeah, it's very, very cool. Now, this book up here, it's in facsimile editions right here. So issue 180, the first appearance of Wolverine. Yeah, fight me. But I cannot say no to this better cover. Much, much better cover. Second appearance of Wolverine, and just beautiful. 181 for, what was it, $3.99? Yeah, I can't say no. Now, I do have this issue. Yeah, I have this issue. Yes, that's right. But I have a coverless copy. So that's fine by me because the cover was reprinted for me, and I got it for about $180 US. But to get it in any other grade is a little bit out of my price range. Next up, we have Mad issue 1. Um, Once again, never going to be able to afford the first appearance of Mad unless it's slabbed. And if it's slabbed, I'm not going to be able to read it. So here it is. It was an instant buy for me. Now, my brother Manuel, he has this copy. He bought it in the 90s. So it's back there somewhere. But here it is here. Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars issue 8. The Black Suit Spidey. Micronauts issue 1. I've read this. It's a very good read. It's not something I want to read the whole lot of. I've read the first issue and I've read the last issue. The last issue is insane. Oh my god. I read this and I thought, my god, this is so dark. This is so dark and so good. But this issue, not so dark. There we go. Now, I do have this in my collection, but it is in such poor condition that I never want to take it out of the bag at all. It's brittle. So when this came up solicited, I said yes. My Greatest Adventures issue 80, the first appearance of the Doom Patrol. DC, why is this book not a $10,000 book? I don't know. New Teen Titans issue 1. I could get this, I guess. I can, sometimes you can find it for a nice price, but when you get the facsimile edition, why not? Our Army at War issue 81, the first appearance of Sergeant Rock. I have the prototype issue. I forget what issue it was, but it's a very good read. I do have the Millennium edition as well, which I have read, and this issue is for Sergeant Rock fans. This is it. This is what you need to read. So I will recommend get it in the facsimile edition because you can kind of throw it around a little bit. Next up is Police Comics issue 1 with the first appearance of Plastic Man. I don't know if it's the first appearance of these guys as well. Human Bomb and Phantom Lady and the Mouthpiece. I don't know. But, if I ever read it, which I don't know if I will, but if I ever do, I guess I'll learn. Next up is Showcase issue 22. Yeah, 22. The first appearance of Hal Jordan. I remember when I started reading comic books, I was offered the Millennium edition for a very nice price, and I bought it and I loved it. It didn't really kick off my love of Green Lantern. I started reading Green Lantern many years later, but yeah, just look at that. I mean, how can you not fall in love with Green Lantern by looking at that cover? Absolutely great. Now, I have not read this at all. Something is Killing the Children by Boom Studios, issue 1. One day I'll get around to it. And also Transformers issue 1 by Image. This is the Marvel issue from the 80s. I bought a huge Transformers lot, and someone fooled me because they had it covered up, so it looked as if it was the original, and it was I can't remember how much it was. It was a very nice price. And yeah, this plus a whole bunch of other comics for Transformers, and I got this and I realized it was the reprint, and I was kind of stung, but it wasn't a huge like dollar drop, so I wasn't that upset, and I did read it, and it was pretty good. Then we got Uncanny X-Men 123, 129. I think this is the first time Logan is called Logan, I think. Or this could be the first Kitty Pryde. Let's have a bit of a look. Could be the first Hellfire Club. I simply cannot remember. Yeah, actually, I think this is the first Kitty Pryde because I just saw her talking to her parents. Next up, we have Uncanny X-Men 130. The first appearance of Dazzler. This book was huge a year ago. And spec and all that kind of stuff. But you know what? When you can get the facsimile edition, just get this. You'll be a lot happier, and you won't have to spend a lot of money. Uncanny X-Men 142, the Days of Future Past. I do have this in the original, but it's nice to have it here because for the price I paid, I don't have to be so careful about how I read it. And then Uncanny X-Men 244, First Jubilee. Uncanny X-Men 120, 266 first Gambit, um, or yeah, second Gambit, depending on what you want, whatever you want to go with. And then issue 28 of Veronica. I don't know why I bought this, other than I think it's just a innuendo cover. Archie's looking a little bit thirsty there. Yeah. Okay. Now, I did buy this back in the day. It's Wolverine issue 88, and it has the subscription crease in here because my copy has the trading cards in there, and they've been in there for a while, so you can see that there's a seam running right through. And there's spine ticks and all that kind of stuff. But this one doesn't have spine ticks, so why not just get that? Gonna kind of burn through these. We've got Wonder Woman issue 1 and Wonder Woman issue 1, which is nicer. For my money, it's this, but you can't go past George Perez. I have this one. I've read this one. It's very good, but it's very wordy. Same as this Wonder Woman issue 1 by Tom King and Dan Semperi. I'm not a huge fan of the series. I bought the first issue and that was it. Actually, I think I bought the second issue. But yeah, that was it for me. Next up, we have X-Men 4, first appearance of Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. Was it? Yeah, this must be the first appearance of Quicksilver as well. I'm getting confused. It's very hot here. But yeah, they've got that one. And this isn't a reprint so much, is that it's a from a Toy Biz action figure. And it's issue 5. So yeah, there we go. And 2 more to go. We have X-Men 101, Enter the Phoenix, part of the Phoenix Saga. I don't have this original issue, but you know, if I ever find it for a very nice price, I might make the jump. But yeah, I'm happy just to have it as this. And that makes 49 facsimile editions, but I said 50. This was next to it. It's not a facsimile edition, but it is What If Donald Duck Became Wolverine? And whoop-de-doo, I bought it. I haven't read it yet. Will I ever read it? I'd like to think I will. It's looking, you know, the interiors are pretty nice. Pretty nice. I mean, check that out. That is kind of inviting to read. So I think I might take the plunge sooner rather than later and read it. But I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Please like and subscribe if you wish to. I'd really appreciate it. Do you have these facsimile editions? Are you a fan of them? Do you prefer to get them rather than the originals? Please let me know in the comments. I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Bye.